Welcome back to Wall again, where passion meets music, and we've very special guest back again to look at another Deep Purple album. It is, of course, Pat from Close to the Edge, Prog. How are you, Pat?
Not too bad, Rob. Thanks very much for having me on your brilliant channel. I
No
really
problem
am
at all.
delighted.
A pleasure. So, another Deep Purple album, and
Oh,
one,
absolutely.
one of your favorites.
Yes.
Yeah,
Possibly my favorite album by Deep Purple. You know, it can be touch and go within rock and machine. There's three of them, really. You get me? So
yeah,
it all
yeah,
depends what humor I'm in.
yeah. So, possibly your favorite album by your favorite band. So, this is going to be a
Yeah.
big one.
Yeah. And
Um,
it is
Great stuff. So, 1971, yeah.
Fireball. Yeah.
Fireball. This is the second album, second studio album by the Mark II lineup. Is that right?
That's correct, Rob. That's correct. And it was recorded between 1970 and 71 in different places. So they were obviously touring at the time and they were going in and out, doing one or two tracks. And the strange thing about this album, I tell you the strange thing about this album, is because Warner Brothers in America were getting fed up. Where's your album? You know, After in Rock, where's the album?
Yeah.
And they decided then, and they said, oh, we need another one track on it. But they had already recorded Strange Kind of Woman because they released it as a single.
Yeah.
So they stuck that on the American, Canadian, and Japanese version instead of the Demon's Eye.
Amazing.
So the
Yeah.
original LP had not got the Demon's Eye in America, Canada, or Japan.
Yeah. That's crazy, isn't it?
Because the Demon's Eye is the very last track they actually recorded. And in the UK and Europe, it was put on the album.
And Strange Kind of Woman was left off from the
Left off. Yeah.
European. So it's the fourth track. Sorry, the third track. So on the European edition, the third track is Demon's Eye, and on the American and Japanese edition, the
Canadian. Yeah.
Canadian
It's a
is
strange
Strange
kind
Kind
of
of
woman.
Woman. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. And both great songs.
Yeah. Both great songs, but on the original LPs. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's mad stuff altogether. So I suppose we jump straight in. The cover, I think the cover on this is amazing, Pat.
Oh, I think it's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, like you have the five band members there, hurtling through space as a fireball.
That's a fireball.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think it's a brilliant cover, actually. I remember when I saw this, I bought the album, the LP, back in 1978.
wow.
Long time ago now, Rob. Long time ago, and I thought it was fabulous. And we bought the single as well, because the single was widely available. And there was a shop here in Waterford called 50 was the name of it,
Yeah,
record shop. And my man was big into Deep Purple, and he was showing me this, that, and I said, I have that. And we wouldn't have had any money. We were only in school,
yeah.
you know. And you know yourself, back in the 70s and 80s, who had money in Ireland? Nobody.
Well, I was born in '83, so
Yeah, yeah.
oh yeah. I know. Look, I know the '80s were they were tough. Yeah, there's no doubt about it, and I can't imagine the '70s were much different.
No, they weren't. No, no. Different Ireland. Totally different Ireland. But
Yeah,
anyway, I'm sidetracking. But anyway, this album kicks off, as you said, with Fireball.
yeah, yeah.
And it kind of has this kind of, you know, the way it comes in,
It's
the
like
first track.
rev. It's like
And
an engine revving up.
and it's absolutely stunning track because it's short track, but it's heavy, you know, and it has that kind of rock and roll kind of tune through it. Like, you know what I mean? That kind of, you know, real fast kind of guitar, but a
Yeah.
brilliant track and brilliant drumming by
Brilliant.
Pace on it.
Yeah, so on the drums, there's a double bass pedal used on the drums. Now, I'm not a drummer, but like a lot of drummers will resonate with, Ian Pace. He's an amazing drummer. Absolutely
Yeah,
fantastic. One of the best hard rock drummers of all time. But on this song, I believe when they play Fireball live, they have to play it towards the end of the set, so his techs can get a chance to hook up the double bass drum. And this is back in the day. I don't know how things work now,
yeah.
but
Probably don't play it as much. I don't think you'd be able to play it now, actually.
possibly, yeah,
Yeah,
possibly.
yeah, yeah,
Just it's such a fast, heavy song, but yeah, like for this one, I was listening to this one earlier today, and I've just a couple of notes. Like, so the record company were putting pressure on the band, as you said, to release
yeah.
an
Of course they
album,
were. Yeah,
and Richie Blackmore wasn't happy with this, and in typical Blackmore style protest, he just threw down a load of ideas to the band, and they worked them into songs. Which, to be fair, when you've got genius musicians in the room, they can make anything sound great.
they
Um,
can. A lot of them think this album. A lot of the band members actually think that this album was rushed, right?
Yeah,
Well, it was rushed in many respects because they were touring, doing a couple of tracks, touring. They couldn't. They
yeah,
wanted to go into the studio and record it as a whole. You get me? Just go in and record it and have a bit of time to do it. But even saying that, this is Ian Gillan's favorite album.
yeah. I've heard that. I've heard that
Yeah.
already.
No, he states that's his favorite album because I think the lyrics on this are his best lyrics he's ever written.
Yeah, yeah. I'd agree. I think there's some great lyrics in this one.
No, the
Uh,
lyrics on this album, like especially now you go into the next track,
yeah,
Rob. No, no, no. Like,
yeah. No, no, no is brilliant.
yeah,
But that, like for me, no, no, no. It's a very bluesy guitar type song, which wouldn't be
it
that
is.
normal for Blackmore. Usually he tries to get away from the blues and does do something different.
He
Um,
does. Yeah, he does.
this one he kind of embraces it and just goes with it. And to be honest with you, I think it sounds amazing.
Oh, it's
Um,
a fantastic track. Fantastic. It's actually fan, and the lyrics on it are brilliant.
lyrics are brilliant. Lyrics are brilliant.
Lyrically, it's absolutely brilliant.
And Ian Gillan double tracks his voice, so he's singing the same part twice, but they've got it tracked hard left, hard right, and the mix of that is absolutely
Oh,
fantastic.
that's superb. Yeah, yeah.
He's such a good singer.
I don't think they play that much live, actually, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
Um, there's a jam.
Mainly, mainly because of that. You
Yeah,
know, it'd be hard to do that live.
it would. Yeah, there's a jam in the middle where the song kind of breaks down, and there's a lovely keyboard solo from.
John Lord, yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, like that, I think that's brilliant. I do think it's a little bit long for what it is, though. They recirculate the same ideas, in my opinion, too many times for the
On
song.
that track. No, I love that track. You see.
Yeah, I think it clocks in at over 7 minutes.
Yeah, I like it. The longer the better, you know. Being a prog head, you know yourself.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then we go on to Demon's Eye, which is a another fantastic riff in a kind of a blues scale by Blackmore again.
Yeah, again, kind of bluesy. Yeah, bluesy, heavy blues more so.
Yeah.
You
Um,
know,
it kind of follows the 12 bar blues, but they interpolate it to their own way. Like they don't just follow it strictly.
you'd know that better than I would, Rob. You being a guitarist now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they kind of go in the home note or the home key, and then they bring it up and then bring it back down, and then at the end they change it around a little bit. But the guitar work is excellent on this
Sure,
song.
he's an astonishing guitarist.
Yeah.
For me, the best. You
So
know,
look, I was listening to the next song and I was intrigued at what you would think of this song because I
anyone's
formed an
daughter.
opinion on it. Yeah, I formed an opinion, but I'd be interested to see what your opinion
I
is.
love anyone's daughter, even when I heard it first, because I think it's a nice kind of, you know, acoustic, laid back number.
Yeah,
It doesn't really fit with the rest of the album, though, if I've been honest.
yeah,
You
I
know what I
don't.
mean? If you take the whole album as a whole, that's kind of one. It sounds to me it was like a filler. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah, I completely get that. I don't think it fit. Like it would have been better if they had to put "Strange Kind of Woman" in there.
Yeah,
And
instead of that one. Yeah, I can
then,
imagine the closer on that. It would have made the album. It would have definitely made the album the best album, you know. But and that would be there'd be no debate on that. Then it's
yeah,
that track, "Anyone's Daughter," that brings that album just down a tad.
yeah, I like. So Ian Gillan's lyrics in that are hilarious.
Oh, they are. They are funny.
He's
Funny.
just
Like,
he's taking the mick, isn't he?
they are taking the mic. Yeah, they are. They are.
And look, Richie Blackmore, the guitars on that, it sounds like he's practicing a scale. Like he's just
Yeah, you can hear it. You can hear
he's
him going.
doodling. He's not taking this track seriously at all. So
No, I don't think any of them did really.
yeah, but look, it is what it is. It's on the album, and then I
On the
think on the
album.
vinyl, then it goes on to side two, then doesn't it?
I too, yeah, with the mule as the kickoff of
Yeah.
the second side, yeah.
So the mule for me, I think Richie Blackmore was trying to do a Jeff Beck type song on this one. That's what
Yeah,
I
there's a bit of jazz in that, aren't there? Kind of a
oh, sure.
bit of jazz fusion there. A bit of prog in there as well, I'd say.
Unbelievable. The guitar solo by Richie Blackmore is it's so Richie Blackmore. All the phrasing, the different notes and scales he's using, it just sounds. It's Richie Blackmore is one of those guitarists. When you hear a couple of notes, you know it's him straight away.
Of course you do.
You know,
He's that good.
he's
He's
that
that
good,
good.
and there's nobody like him. There's not one guitarist
Oh no,
that plays like him.
as far as I'm concerned, there is no one like him.
Yeah, and that song for
Just
me,
out on his own, as far as I'm concerned, in the 70s. Now I know there's an awful lot of brilliant guitarists as well, but he was such he could go up and down the fret like, and he's not even looking at it. He just knows where every note
he
is.
was
He
an
just
innovator. He his choice of notes was so unique and melodic.
and the
I
fact that he
think,
used a Stratocaster, then of course,
well,
that
that's
has a kind of a unique sound.
absolutely like and that actually brings me on to the next track, Fools,
Fools, yeah,
has a great riff, but it's played with the guitar. So as you mentioned, it's a Fender Stratocaster, which typically has single coil pickups. So it's this one in the middle. It's only a single coil as opposed to a humbucker. So it's not as heavy a sound. So to make up for that, John Lord famously played through Marshall amps, his keyboard, to
that's
get
right.
that
Yeah,
heavy sound. And I think when the keyboard and the guitar are doubled to play the same parts, one pan left, one pan right. It sounds amazing.
it does sound amazing, and Fools is unbelievable. Actually, when I heard that track first, the very first time I heard that track, I thought there was violin in that.
Really, yeah,
Yeah, I didn't realize that was Richie Blackmore on guitar
yeah,
because
yeah,
it sounds like a violin.
yeah.
You
He was
know,
able to get them sounds like Jimmy Page.
yeah, it sounds like that. But then, of course, I realized then we had no internet back then to check it out, so we had to go read about it. Like,
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
yeah, read about it, and that's with guitar, and that's an amazing track, Fools. Like, you know what I mean?
It's a great track. For me now, it does go on a bit long. I think it clocks in at over 8 minutes. Um,
Yeah, no, no, that's no problem for me now.
yeah,
I like my tracks long. I longer than that actually.
I love long tracks when in prog. So take band like yes, as we mentioned, I'm getting very big into Close to the Edge. Love that album. Thanks for
Yeah, yeah,
putting me
saw
onto
that.
it. But I find what yes, they'll have an idea like a hook, but they won't overuse it. They'll give you a taste of it at the start, maybe.
Yeah, they won't. I know. Yes, won't repeat themselves in
Yeah.
that way with the long tracks. Like another band who has long tracks would be not that would be Emerson Lake and Palmer.
Okay. Yeah.
They have long tracks like Tarkus. Like, but yes, we're really big into the long track. Gentle Giant now didn't do really long tracks at all. And look at Genesis. They did long tracks. Look at Supper's Ready from
Yeah.
Foxtrot, and they never really repeated it either. Like,
Yeah. And I think that's why Deep Purple are more on the hard rock side of prog.
Yeah, oh, they are. Yeah, they're never really a prog. Some of their stuff is proggy, all right, but they're not. The hard rock, classic rock, whatever you want to call it.
Repeating that riff was more important than trying to make a musical statement.
Right.
Had to be a
Absolutely right.
song first, and then the music came second.
Yeah,
Obviously,
but I think that'll be right, Rob. Baby. Bang on there.
so that's definitely evident in Fools. And then on the European version, so it ends with No One Came, which is I think is a decent track, but I was very impressed with Richie Blackmore again on this
Well,
one.
that's my favorite track on the album, the closer.
Really?
No
Okay.
one. Yeah, I think the lyrics are brilliant. I think the lyrics they refer. If you listen to it, they refer to a gig he was doing or something. There's something in there. I'm not sure about that, but they refer. No one came, like.
Okay, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, yeah, he's referring to that. But the lyrics are brilliant. I love that track. That's a prog track now. To me, that's a pure prog track.
Yeah, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely, without a doubt. And then I suppose we should mention Strange Kind of Woman because it's on the US version.
So,
Um,
yeah, it is actually. Strange Kind of Woman is. I think the studio version is a little bit tame, if I'm being honest.
oh really? Yeah,
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 I do actually. Yeah, I think the live version on Made in Japan
yeah,
is
that's a great one.
20 times better.
Yeah,
It comes alive, is,
more energy.
more energy, just and longer.
Yeah.
And they have the vocals then and, the guitar are copying each other.
Oh yeah, the
Gillen
call and
Blackmore.
response.
Yeah, that's absolutely superb. I just
Fantastic.
think the studio version, yeah, it's a nice track if you heard it on it, but when you hear it live, it's a different animal.
Brilliant. It's a great song. I love it. I think if it was on like the European version, it will be one of the strongest tracks on that version. Like, there's no doubt
Yeah, but
about
they
it.
should have put that in instead of anyone's daughter.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But
Yeah, but of course they
as
were
you
under
say,
pressure with the record label Warner Brothers put them under a lot of pressure as well.
it was out of their control. So I'm
It
assuming
really
it's
was.
a 10 out of 10 for you, Pat, yeah?
Oh, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I don't think I could give it a 10, to
Come
be
on, what
honest.
would you give it then? Come on.
I'd say probably 7.
Jesus, Rob.
Yeah, yeah. With 7, like that's still a great album, but unfortunately, I just think there's maybe a little bit too much jamming, a little bit too much repetition. I get what Richie Blackmore said, like True Den Ideas, they tried to fill the 40 minutes of the LP, but in saying that, Richie Blackmore's guitar playing is
Ah,
phenomenal in this
superb.
album. So even Richie not caring is still better than 90% of guitarists out there.
But strange enough, Ian Gillan's favourite album.
And Ian Gillan's favorite. Well, you can hear that, to be honest. The lyrics are brilliant in it.
And
And we could
he's
talk
singing
about
is top notch, isn't
We
it?
can talk about this album all night, Pat, but we're coming to the end, so
We could talk. We better leave it at that anyway, Rob. Rob, it's great being on your channel anyway.
no problem at all. And we'll be back next week for Machine Head.
Yes, Machine Head is next. Thanks very much, Rob.
Thanks, Pat. Take it easy.
Bye bye. Bye bye,
Bye.
everyone.